everybody. This is Sexy Jazz Voice Billy, and this is the Dead Time Radio Show. I'm Billy. This is my buddy Don. Hi, Don.
Hey.
I'm a little under the weather today, so I'm going to sound kind of weird with my snotty nose and my deep, deep voice. Next up is Spyro Gyra. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying your week. We're enjoying our week, and we're kicking it off with some fun. We got some really cool emails, by the way, Don. Well, one, actually, from our friend Jillian.
Aw, Jillian.
Because she's so pretty, damn cool.
Yeah.
She was listening to our show while she was making some of her jewelry.
Her jewelry, I can't wait till she gets the website. It is beautiful.
Yeah. So apparently she says, y'all, because Jillian's from the South, in case anybody wondered.
From here.
Yeah. I've been sitting in my den making raisin jewelry.
We don't like raisins.
I like raisins. You're the weirdo that doesn't like them. Resin jewelry and listening to the podcast. So far, I've heard Creepy Places, good show, and Bitches in History, even better show.
Yep.
During both
Good
episodes,
choices.
yes, I found myself chiming in on the subjects. I'm all, yes, the magnetic force is causing the suicide phenomenon, with the exception of the cliffs. And Griselda was killed by men on motorcycles on the street, which is the hit style that she's accredited with creating. I'm loving it, so I just wanted to let you all know.
Aw.
Jillian.
We love you, Jillian. Thank you.
Oh, that's so
Thanks
nice
for
to
writing
hear.
in.
It's so wonderful to
so nice.
hear from our fans and our listeners.
Yeah.
You too could be a part of your email being read on our show if you send us an email at thedeadtimeradio@gmail.com.
Yes, please.
Don, we're like super close to having 3,000 downloads.
3,000 downloads. That's so cool.
I believe we
Thank
are
you, guys.
less than 100 downloads.
Come on, guys. Tell 3 people, please.
Yesterday, I was looking at our statistics, and
Yeah.
39 downloads in less than a 12-hour period
Nice.
for our newest show.
Nice, nice.
So that was pretty cool. And you guys didn't hear that one? That's it's out now. You can listen to it now.
Amityville Horror and the Warrens.
Because, we record a week in advance. So, yeah. So we're a week ahead. We're in the future right now.
We're in the future.
You're hearing us from the future.
Wow.
Remember to buy toilet paper. So today's episode is going to be a cool one. We were chit-chatting about weird shit because that's what we do. And I was thinking, what would be really cool is if we read stories about some of the mysterious and creepy Hollywood deaths that have happened throughout the years.
There's a lot of them.
Unsolved mysteries and some stuff like that.
Yep.
So that's what we're going to do today's episode.
Yes.
Brought to you by Pfizer. No, I'm kidding. It's not brought by Pfizer.
We don't have a...
They don't.
What are you doing?
I'm petting my dog.
No, why did you say Pfizer?
Because it was a joke that nobody's going to get.
You don't have a... I got it.
Nobody's going to get it because it was off of a YouTube video that I watched, a conspiracy YouTube video
On Pfizer's...
on how Pfizer is pretty much bankrolling every national news channel in this country. ABC, NBC, MSNBC, CNN, all that shit.
I have stock in Pfizer.
Dude.
Stock's not going up.
Pfizer is evil. Just saying. Okay.
You are on the dark forces side, so
I am.
I mean,
I am. Pfizer's
it's your
evil.
choices, so that's your fam.
Pfizer's evil. It's big pharma.
It's your fam.
It's big pharma. I'm just saying.
Sounds like you need big pharma with your face.
Shut your fucking pie hole.
You need to invest in some big pharma, Billy. You sound like Snotface.
Snot face Billy
Not funny.
coming to you live.
Jazz radio.
Jazz radio. Dawn says that every time I get like a chest cold that I sound like Smooth Jazz Man on the radio.
He does.
So,
Smooth jazz.
ladies, if this is turning you on, wait till I start playing some more jazz.
See? Told you.
All right. So I'm looking at a few websites that I just whipped up out of my brain. The first one is called thetaco.com, TALKO, not TACO, which I would
That's
prefer.
That's a different website.
I
Don't
like
go there.
tacos.
No, that's not what they're talking about.
Oh, I know what
No,
they're
the
talking
taco.
about on the taco.com.
We're not talking about the taco. We're
because
talking
that's
about
my website. 15 mysterious and creepy Hollywood deaths. Their deaths have captivated and fascinated readers and audiences for years, and they will continue to do so in the years to come. So number 15, of course,
my favorite.
Heath Ledger. Famous for playing the Joker in Batman and the Homo in Brokeback Mountain.
He was my favorite Joker. That was pretty freaking incredible.
I don't know. Joaquin Phoenix was pretty goddamn good.
Yeah.
Of course, the thing about Joaquin Phoenix is they don't give him a script in any movie. They just
I
go,
know that.
come on to the set and just be
Channel
yourself.
Right, exactly.
Because you're a weird motherfucker.
Yeah.
I love him, though. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
But he is weird.
Hey, man, we're all weird.
Yeah. So Heath Ledger. Few famous deaths have shaken the public to its core, quite like the death of Heath Ledger, and it continues to capture the imagination. The official cause of death was an accidental overdose, but many people believe that the death had a lot more to do with the fact that he was disturbed by his portrayal of the Joker in The Dark Knight. See, I don't believe that. I believe that it probably was an accidental overdose, to be honest.
Well, he gets into character like he does not come out of character. You know, like most people are like, okay, cut, and then he was living it and breathing it, and he was in like a mental break. He was the Joker. So
Yeah, I don't know. I still think he probably just took too many pills, or probably took some pills and then had a beer or something, and it's never a good idea to do that. Especially because I know he had some back problems. He got injured on a set out of a movie a while ago, and they gave him back pills, stuff like that. Who knows? Anyway, in the recent documentary Too Young to Die, Ledger's mother, Kim, reveals how his preparation for his role may have led to his demise. In the documentary, she shows his diary that he kept during his preparation for the role, which featured his handwritten thoughts, photos of Malcolm McDowell as Alex in A Clockwork Orange. Great fucking movie. In a creepy segment, the end of the diary is revealed, which has "bye-bye" written in bold letters. His death is widely acknowledged as a product of his intense method acting, as many claim that he locked himself in a hotel room for weeks and that he dove much too far into his character's psyche.
Yeah, I believe that because I think people that are of light, when they dive into dark, it just kind of impregnates their brain and they can't get out of it.
Impregnating.
Yeah, the darkness.
Brain spooge. Number 14,
Darkness.
George Reeves. This is way before a lot of people's time,
yeah.
but George Reeves was one of the OG Superman characters in the Superman TV show back in I think it was the 40s or 50s.
Yeah, I think so.
Besides his mysterious death, George Reeves is known for two things: playing Superman and hooking up with Eddie Mannix's wife, Toni Mannix. Eddie Mannix is the famed Hollywood fixer who effectively removed scandals, including MGM stars, out of the newspapers. The theory that Mannix is the one who had Reeves killed is a popular one. Reeves died in the house that Toni had bought for him, though he had already moved on with another woman. While he had guests downstairs, he died from a gunshot wound to the head. The incident is shrouded in mystery for many reasons, one being the fact that the shells were found underneath him,
Dude.
and also there were 2 bullets found embedded in the floor. The coroners did not check for gunpowder residue on Reeves' hand, and the gun was mysteriously registered under Andy Mannix's name. Very tragic and very mysterious.
I mean, what kind of police work is that?
That's
What kind of police work is that?
pretty shitty police work.
You have the shells under your body.
Eddie Mannix would be the prime suspect in
No,
this.
duh. Like, he would be in jail right now. Yeah.
It's probably not like George Reeves was like, "Hey, Eddie, can I borrow your gun for this weekend?"
right. Let me just shoot myself
Let me
3
just shoot
times.
myself in the
2 in
head.
the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe those were the practice shots to make sure it fired right. I'm rolling my eyes.
I mean, Superman was flying around, and they finally got him.
Here's a strange little quinky dink when it deals with Superman.
Yeah.
George Reeves,
Yep.
shot in the head, died, blah.
Yep.
Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeves, yeah.
I think it was Reeve, but I'm not sure. Reeve or Reeves. Anyway, strange that it's the
Still
last name
Superman.
still.
Yeah.
He got paralyzed in a tragic equestrian accident,
From a horse,
and
right.
he ended up dying.
Yes.
So there was a while there that people thought there was a curse on anybody who played
Superman, correct.
But Henry Cavill's still doing great, and in my opinion is the best Superman ever. I like Henry Cavill. He's the newest one. Man of Steel. Yeah, he's pretty cool.
know that one.
He's also the guy that played The Witcher. If you
Okay.
watched The Witcher.
Yeah, but that needs to be reopened and figure out what the fuck happened to him.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to be held
that
accountable.
shouldn't be a
for
cold case
murdering
anymore.
Superman.
But the thing is they're all dead now, so it probably doesn't even really matter.
Yeah, it does matter. Facts matter.
Facts matter. Bruce Lee,
Ooh, this is another favorite.
number 13. Though Bruce Lee was only 32 when he died, he had become internationally famous for his work in film and television. When Lee died, his death was ruled death by misadventure.
Ooh, he's
That's
a
how
beautiful,
I want to die.
he's a beautiful man.
Misadventure.
Beautiful, beautiful man. Misadventure, yes.
However, it was not as adventurous as this ruling would have you believe. On July 20th, 1973, Lee complained of a headache, and his rumored lover, actress Betty Ting P, gave him Equagesic, a prescription painkiller. He took a nap and never woke up again. There's several theories in regards to his untimely death, and they're all bizarre. One theory is that he was killed by members of the Chinese martial arts community who didn't like that he was revealing their secrets to the public in his films. Another was that he was killed by a mafia. This is a common theory for most Hollywood deaths, and that mafia would be the Chinese mafia, the Triad.
Yeah.
Another is that he was poisoned by Ting Pei. Is it P or Pei? I don't know. On behalf of Chinese gangsters. That would tie in with the same thing with being killed by the mafia,
Right.
would it not?
All the round circle sounds.
Jesus Christ, some of these people. Another theory is that he was cursed, which brings us to the mysterious death on our list. Next
Yeah.
mysterious death.
Right, that his family was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon Lee.
Oh, he was a beautiful actor, too.
Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee, was filming his character's death sequence in The Crow, a film that was supposed to be his big break. A single blank was supposed to be fired from a prop gun, but thanks to a neglectful and incompetent prop crew, the gun fired an actual bullet, which hit him in the abdomen and killed him. He was only 28 years old.
I love that movie. I used to watch that movie all the time.
I hated that movie
Why?
because I read the comic book, and it was so far from the comic book, it was ridiculous.
I love it.
After Brandon's death, rumors of a curse on the Lee name were brought up once again by the theories and speculations, but the theories and speculations get even weirder. In Bruce's last film, his character is accidentally killed by a real gun that was switched out for a prop gun. Also, a film on Bruce Lee's life, Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, was released soon after his death. In the film, Bruce fights metaphorical demons which eventually go after his son Brandon. Here's the thing, though. This movie was written and shot before Brandon's death. Coincidence? Probably, but that doesn't keep people from speculating. That is a terrible tie-in. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Because as a father, of course you're going to have that alliteration of demons, fighting the metaphorical demons to save your son.
Right.
It's a nightmare that all parents have about their children. They all have nightmares about fighting the demons to protect their kids. I don't even have kids and I know this shit.
Yep.
Well, I don't have any kids that I know of, that is. Ladies. Smooth jazz. Marilyn Monroe, number 11. Marilyn Monroe was found dead in her home in 1962 after a barbiturate overdose. Though it was ruled accidental, there are several theories that include murder. One of these theories implicates Bobby Kennedy, who she was rumored to have an affair with, along with his brother John F. Kennedy. Another theory alleges that she was killed by the mafia, possibly on behalf of Bobby. Again, what is wrong with these people and their fucking sentences? If she was killed by the mafia, or she was killed by Bobby Kennedy, but then they put possibly on behalf of Bobby.
So the mafia did it for Bobby.
Right. Put it in one sentence.
Right.
It could have said implicates that Bobby Kennedy or the mafia on behalf of Bobby Kennedy killed her.
This is a blog. You're trying to put more words in.
It's my grammar Nazism.
This is why people don't write in, dude.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. I don't want to be judged by you.
Because I'm not they're not writing a goddamn news article
I don't wanna
where
make
they
that
should
big.
know better.
You're judging McJudderson.
No. Another
write
theory
in.
includes her psychiatrist, Dr. Greenson, who some believe that she was having an affair with, and he administered a lethal injection which killed her.
Jesus.
More than likely, she was being manipulated and over-medicated by her doctor, who wanted to keep control over her, which would mean that she died how she lived, controlled by the men in her life. The truth is quite possibly much less sensation and much more somber than any of the theories.
That's always broke my heart. It's very sad. Very, very sad.
Goodbye, Norma Jean. Oh, sorry.
It's true. I digress.
This one was a very interesting one here. Natalie Wood.
Yeah,
number
this
10.
one, I saw this one on TV. They were like acting it out. It's pretty.
I was a
pretty
kid when this
wicked.
happened. It was like
Pretty
all over the news forever.
Yep.
The death of Natalie Wood is still shrouded in mystery, and even though the incident occurred decades ago, it is still written about, talked about, and speculated on this to this day. Wood, her husband Robert Wagner, and Christopher Walken, not Walden, you fucking moron, were on a yacht together in Catalina, and on the night of her death, the three were drinking champagne together at a restaurant before returning to the yacht. The next day, Wood was found floating face down in the water, 1 mile south of the yacht. Walken and Wagner both said that Wood had gone to her cabin to sleep while the two enjoyed a nightcap. Wagner noticed later that she wasn't in her room and the dinghy was missing. It is believed that Wood untied the dinghy in an attempt to go for a ride, but fell into the water with a heavy down-filled jacket on which weighed her down and caused her to drown. However, many people believe that there was some foul play involved. All right. I'm going to break this shit down.
Neither one of them was held responsible. She was supposedly flirting with Christopher Walken.
It was a love triangle.
And then, Robert Wagner got upset with her, and they had like a huge argument.
Because Wagner and Walken were friends.
Yep.
Wagner got mad when he found out that they were probably fucking. And
Well, they were flirting pretty heavy.
right. And Walken looked at Wagner and said, I got a fever. And the only prescription is more Natalie Wood.
More wood.
So she probably tried to break it up. Somebody hit her too hard. Like
Yep.
there was a punch thrown and it knocked her the fuck out.
Yep.
And she drowned it because she was drunk and unconscious in the water. That's
Yep.
my theory.
They pushed her over and undid the dinghy, right.
Yep.
And both of them aren't going to tattle on the other one because
Right. And it's easy to just say, all right, let's get our story
she
straight.
fell in the water.
She went back to her cabin for a nightcap. We went to bed, and that's it. That's all you got to say.
So first of all, if that's your hot wife right there, that hot
She
wife
was
is
a pretty
either
lady.
she's beautiful, either going to be with Robert Wagner or Christopher Walken. So why do they not go to bed together, or like it just sounds too.
Well, I think the thing
Too
that
weird.
bothers me the most is the fact that this man does not know that that's Christopher Walken, who is an icon, not Christopher Walden.
Yeah, it's a
Now, see,
mistype.
these are the things that I get upset about. It would have been a mistype if it was only once. He has it written 3 different times in here.
Okay.
Those are the things that bug me.
Okay.
Smooth jazz.
We're talking about Natalie Wood.
I'm talking
She
about.
died.
Yeah,
They killed her.
I'm talking about Christopher Walden.
Yeah. Christopher Walden killed her.
That's maybe that's maybe he's hiding the evidence in plain
That's
sight.
it, he is,
That
see?
Walken wasn't even on the boat.
It was
It was his cousin Walden. Mm-hmm. Christopher Walden. I got a fever, and the only prescription is more murder. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, we're done with that one.
I still like it. Grace Kelly. Another pretty one. Grace Kelly was the quintessential Hitchcock blonde and starred in 2 of his greatest films, To Catch a Thief and Rear Window.
I've been told I look like her. I have the same facial.
Maybe the cheekbones.
Yeah.
She was everything that movie stars were supposed to be. Beautiful, elegant, yet sensual in an understated way. After she became a model, took Hollywood by storm, and won an Oscar, she captured the heart of Prince Rainier of Monaco and lived a real-life Cinderella story. However, she did not live happily ever after. In 1982, she and her daughter, Princess Stephanie, were driving along a bend in the Mediterranean Principality when she allegedly suffered a stroke and drove off the edge, which resulted in her death. There are still many rumors about her death, including political scandals and an involvement in a secret cult. Though her death did not occur in Hollywood, she was planning to revive her acting career by returning to Hollywood, but she never made it back. Now, okay, it's very quite possible that she did suffer from a stroke, and that's what made her drive off the edge.
Right. Or somebody could have clipped her.
Yeah, maybe somebody
Had
accidentally...
poked a hole in her brake line.
Because it was like some type of like cliff that she was driving on.
Mediterranean, yeah, they're little wiggly roads.
But I don't know. I don't think it was so nefarious that somebody cut her brake lines or anything. I just think that she probably did have a stroke and she fucking stroked out and went, "Brr!" and off the edge she went.
And she couldn't turn because her arm wasn't working.
Right, that was the turning arm that went
That was
dead.
her turning arm, yep.
Yeah,
She had a
maybe.
stroke on her left side of her brain.
This one's pretty sad. This one here, Jane Mansfield. And I don't... Jane Mansfield and Marilyn Monroe did not get along. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Jane
Why, 'cause they're
Mansfield
two
was-
blondes?
No, Jane Mansfield was very flirty, and she dressed very provocatively. There's a picture that shows like her and Marilyn Monroe sitting at the same table. Oh no, it's either Marilyn Monroe or Sophia Loren.
Oh.
And Mansfield's boobs are almost falling out of her dress, and the look you see on the other faces they're looking over is like you can tell her eyes are screaming whore. It's fucking beautiful. I'm gonna have to find that
You had
picture.
to put it on our
Yeah.
website.
Jane Mansfield. Though you may not be familiar with her work, you've probably seen that photo of Sophia Loren. See, this is it. That photo of a disapproving Sophia Loren giving a busty blonde a judgmental side-eyed glare. The blonde woman in the photo is Jane Mansfield, and her stardom was a product of a post-Marilyn Monroe Hollywood in which every studio wanted a blonde bombshell. The night that Mansfield died, she was in the car with her driver, boyfriend, and 3 of her children, one of which was Law & Order's Mariska Hargitay.
Oh.
Wow, who was only 3 at the time.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that was her mama.
I didn't either.
The crash allegedly occurred when the car collided with a tractor-trailer, which killed the 3 adults. Mansfield was only 32. The most mysterious aspect of the story is the rumor that Mansfield was decapitated by the crash.
What?
However, this rumor seems to have spread after Mansfield's blonde wig was found on the road.
Oh, she wasn't a real blonde? That was a wig?
Well, look at Mariska
Dude.
Hargitay's hair.
Black.
Isn't she like a black
Dark
hair?
brown, yeah.
Yeah. So she was probably a brunette. She probably...
So you're a fake whore.
Well, look at them jugs.
I mean, you can have jugs in brown hair, too.
Those are some nice jugs.
You can have jugs in brown hair,
Yeah,
too.
but this was a different time. I like the fact that she's not wearing one of those bras that looks like she's wearing cones
Oh, yeah.
that they did in the 50s.
Yeah.
Those were ugly. Those are horrible. Let those puppies be expressed.
So
Show
her
them
head got
curves.
chopped off. Can you imagine that you're being
baby.
the child in the back? Mariska
So,
Hargitay child
she-
watching her mom's head. She was
She
sitting
didn't
there
get
with no head.
decapitated.
Where'd her mom's head land in Mariska Hargitay's lap? It's going to go back.
That would be full trauma, dude. Full traumatic episodes the rest of your life.
Yeah. I mean, what?
If your
where did it go?
If your parents'
If you
fucking
hit
head fell in their
a
lap.
tractor trailer,
Yeah.
the head's going to go back.
Well, look at the picture of the car, dude. It is squished.
So it probably landed in her lap.
It looks like it came up from, like, went under the truck. See how the hood
Oh,
is,
that's
like,
what you were
completely
talking about
squished back?
last night about my car.
Yeah. Although yours wouldn't even squish the hood. It would just go completely
I would
under
go
the
under
car.
it, and I could
You
just keep
keep driving
I
right
would just
under
drive
yes.
like one of those
Yeah.
cartoons.
Exactly. Come out from the other side.
Wave.
Yeah. Oh my God. Anna Nicole Smith, probably one of the most famous gold diggers ever. This is another celebrity death which did not take place in Hollywood, California, but instead in Hollywood, Florida. Anna Nicole Smith initially became famous when she was named as Playmate of the Year in 1993 and married the 89-year-old tycoon J. Howard Marshall.
Well, I just noticed that her teeth look like a horse teeth.
Well, yeah, she's got some horse teeth, but man, did she have some jugs.
Yeah, but they weren't
Before
real.
she
though.
got fat.
Real jugs, right?
Yeah. No, they weren't real. But that was before she got fat, because then she got gigantor.
Yeah, but did he die
Living
and then
off
she
that-
got fat? Because she
living
had all
off
that
that
money.
89-year-old
she
man.
Just eat a lot of all that food.
She was hardcore drug addict.
Oh, well, then you'd
So
be skinny.
We're getting into
You wouldn't
that.
be fat.
Oh no. There's some.
How
How many people do we have coming to the ER that weigh 300 pounds and they're
No,
opioid
all the
addicts?
ones are just the tiniest.
No.
Yeah.
No. J. Howard Marshall. Anyway, sadly, she was known as a punchline more than anything else. Smith was found dead in 2007 at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida, and her death was ruled an accidental drug overdose. Though there are some bizarre theories that include murder and mind control.
Murder.
There were definitely some shady things that surrounded her death. For instance, her son Daniel died from an accidental drug overdose a year before her death. And another thing that the two had in common was that Smith's lawyer and lover Howard K. Stern, not to be confused with Howard Stern, the radio host, was said to have been there at both deaths.
So he did it. It wasn't an accidental overdose. He put the band on their arm and stuck it in there.
There's probably no evidence to completely corroborate him in it. That's not the word I want.
Yeah, but her son dies, and then a year later she dies?
Yeah, well...
I mean, if you lose a child, I can understand that, but...
I don't know what to tell you on that one. It's just weird all around. Very weird. Ooh. Heather O'Rourke and Dominique Dunn.
There's a lot of people from this movie that died mysteriously.
Yes, this was a creepy movie, too. Ooh. It was good. I liked it. It was one of my favorites growing up.
I was terrified.
This is the tale of another curse, but this time it involves the classic 80s horror flick Poltergeist. The story of the curse started when the word got out that the skeletons used in the film weren't fake. That's right, they used actual skeletons because rubber skeletons were too expensive. 22-year-old Dominique Dunn was murdered by her abusive ex-boyfriend, which was the first death that was said to be caused by the curse. Though there were deaths of 2 cast members from Poltergeist 2, The Other Side, the murder of an actor with a small role in the original movie, the most convincing case for the curse was the death of Heather O'Rourke, the little girl who delivered the famous line, "They're here," who died of cardiac arrest when she was only 12.
How do you die of a cardiac arrest at 12?
Tragic coincidence may be more likely than a curse, but it doesn't keep from speculating. Maybe she had a heart condition she didn't know she had. Maybe her parents didn't know. You know, it was the 80s. People didn't go to the hospital every 2 seconds for every tiny little ailment.
If you freaking had something, and you stopped bleeding within the hour, you weren't going to the hospital.
No, exactly.
You had a headache.
People now, it's like, oh, my toe's been hurting for 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
I need a CTA runoff.
It's exactly what we run into every day.
Mm-hmm. So maybe she had, because look at, what was his name? From Three's Company, Jack Ritter.
Yeah.
He had that rare heart condition, remember? And then he ended up, basically dissecting on the set.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. His heart...
He had an aortic dissection?
Yeah. It was it was like an atrial valve dissection or something. Ooh, you know that rare heart disease where it, really, one of your valves is bad or something like that, and it can cause, spontaneous dissection and shit.
Ooh.
I think it was dissection, but I know he had some type of atrium problem. It was pretty sad.
Ooh.
Because I liked him. Yeah. John Ritter. That was
John Ritter. He was funny. I watched the show.
Now, I'm still curious. If anybody knows, write us a letter and let me know, because I'm too lazy to search.
Katie.
Is Kristen Ritter John Ritter's daughter? I love Kristen Ritter. She's gorgeous. The other thing that I wanted to let everybody know is, tell us what you want us to talk about. Send us emails. deadtimeradio@gmail.com. That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can put echo in there later. It'll be calm. Like Sunday. Take your big ass truck down the big ass dirt road and run over other people with your big old monster truck. Drink a lot of beer and have a good time. Sunday. It's a monster truck show. You never been to a monster truck show?
No.
Everybody talks like that the whole time that they're there.
Okay.
Man, see that big old truck? That was awesome. That was a big old monster truck right over that little car. Oh my God, give me a beer.
Open your mouth.
That's how they talk at monster shows. Oh my God, you've never been. You don't understand.
You have a corn dog in your mouth.
It's not in my mouth.
Chew the corn dog and swallow it before you speak.
I don't want her to chew it and swallow it.
Chew the corn dog.
Okay. Number 5, David Carradine, the original Kung Fu dude.
Yeah. That's what.
Grasshopper.
Yeah.
It's Grasshopper. Mm-hmm. The Kill Bill actor David Carradine was found dead in his hotel room in Bangkok, Thailand, naked and hanging by a rope in the closet. Wow. At first, the death was ruled a suicide, but it soon became widely accepted as accidental autoerotic asphyxiation, and the theory was backed by 2 of his ex-wives who both stated that he enjoyed self-bondage. However, his widow, Annie, has since conducted her own investigation and came to the conclusion that he was murdered. There's another theory that Carradine was killed by the same people who killed other celebrities such as Heath Ledger. These people are the Hollywood star whackers. That doesn't sound like a killer group, does it? That sounds like people who jerk off
That's an
to
OnlyFans.
pictures of stars.
Yep. That's an OnlyFans group.
Yeah, they might want to change that name. You might be put into a group that you might not want to be in.
Yep.
And it's the perfect conspiracy theory for those who are more interested in conspiracies than the truth. Whatever the cause, Carradine has become as famous for autoerotic asphyxiations as he is for martial arts. Now, I think, first of all, why the fuck's he in Bangkok, Thailand? There's only one reason why old men go to Bangkok, Thailand.
To bang your cock?
Yes, into underage girls.
Oh.
That's what a lot of movie stars do. But, I'm not saying that he was doing that. But, maybe he was there investigating the sex slave trade.
Oh, there's a lot of people that have died investigating that.
Yes.
So hopefully that's on these lists.
And maybe that's why he was found dead and naked in his hotel room to
Because
humiliate
him for sex stuff.
Right, for getting too close to the truth. Maybe he was on a secret mission as Grasshopper.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Trying to save all the girls,
Yep.
and then all the people that try to expose this sex slave conspiracy. There's a lot of people that have died like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, suicide, yet people say, don't commit, I'm not going to commit suicide. If I ever commit suicide, then it's not me.
I've already told you that, Teuton.
I know.
I would never commit suicide.
Yep.
So people, if I'm found dead naked with a belt over my neck, I did not commit suicide, and I do not do autoerotic asphyxiations. Okay? I don't do that stuff. I don't need to. I'm sexy. I can just jerk off looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm all right. Sunday!
You need to look at yourself in the mirror when you do that. You will never get a boner again.
You don't know. You don't know what my fetishes are, Don. Maybe I like
true.
that face
True.
that I make in the mirror.
What'd you call it yesterday? The vinegar face or something?
Vinegar strokes.
I didn't know
That's
what
from
that was.
that TV show, The League.
I didn't know what that was. I was
Yes.
like, that doesn't even make sense.
Vinegar strokes. Watch that show. It's a good show. Anyway, Lana Clarkson. I remember her. The murder of Lana Clarkson at the hands of Phil Spector has found its way into Hollywood infamy and legend after she was found dead in Spector's mansion. The 2 of them were dropped off at the mansion while the driver waited outside. An hour later, the driver heard gunshots, and Clarkson was indeed found with a gunshot wound in her head, which killed her. Though Spector later said that it was accidental suicide after she kissed the gun. Oh my God. His driver claimed that he came out of the house with a gun saying, "I think I just shot her." There are other claims which included him flying into a rage right before shooting the actress. In 2009, Spector was charged with murder and sentenced to 19 years in prison. How exactly it all happened inside the house, we'll never know.
Jesus.
At least he went to jail.
Right. Instead of saying, "Oh well,
Yeah.
you're famous."
Phil Spector's a weird fucker. I don't know if you've ever seen some of the history of this guy. He's
No.
fucking weird, dude. So it doesn't surprise me. I don't think she quote unquote kissed the gun, but maybe she said something that she had blackmail on him or something, and he brought her
Oh,
to
yeah.
her house to take care of it. Because that's
Yep.
how some of these fucking elites act. That nothing can touch them, and anybody that gets in their way,
Truth.
to just fucking kill them.
Yep.
If it was last year that it happened, she would have died from COVID complications.
Right, exactly.
Even though her fucking hole in her forehead says otherwise.
The back of her forehead.
Yeah. Sharon Tate, one of the most saddest fucking things ever. The murder of Sharon Tate is one of the most infamous Hollywood murders in history because of its horrific, mysterious, and brutal nature. Tate, who was pregnant at the time, was murdered in her home along with celebrity hairstylist Jay Sebring and her two friends, Wojciech Frykowski and Abigail Folger, who was the heiress to the Folger Coffee enterprise. They were murdered by the members of Charles Manson's family for no other reason than the fact that they were in the original home of record producer Terry Melcher, who Manson hated for not giving him a record deal. The members of the family who murdered them did not even know who their victims were and killed them because Manson wanted them to. The most mysterious aspect of this case was that the killers wrote the word pig in Tate's blood on the side of the house. This had to do with Manson's desire to start a race war, and he hoped that the police would blame the murder on African Americans. The whole story is bizarre, horrific, and incredibly tragic.
Wow.
Do you know who her husband was?
Uh-uh.
Roman Polanski. You know who that is?
No.
He is a famous movie director. Roman Polanski is not in the U.S. anymore. Roman Polanski has been on the run for a long time because he has been charged with raping a 13-year-old girl. So he's not allowed to come back to the States because if he does, they'll put him on trial.
Ooh.
Okay? So he's a creepy motherfucker.
So what? Maybe he did it.
It's possible. I don't know.
She was pregnant with his baby.
Right. So I think he lives in some country where they can't extradite, or he got political asylum or something. In I don't know. He's a fucking piece of shit.
The word pig on the house is weird.
Yeah. I mean, Manson, if you listen to some of the stuff, I can remember seeing, because even though it happened in the late 60s, they were still talking about it when I was a kid on the news, because the trials went on for a while and stuff. So I can remember seeing like clips of, because like mid-70s, 80s, Manson was still a big thing. There were always people wanting to interview him and shit, and they would show like his outbursts in court and all this other stuff, and some of the crazy shit that his family all did during the court trials. It's a fascinating case, but it's very sad that all those people were killed for no reason.
So it was her hairstylist, and then two of her friends.
No, it was a celebrity hairstylist. It wasn't hers, but yeah, Jay Sebring was one of her friends, and then two of her other friends, one of them being Abigail Folger. Now, there's also...
Maybe they were just going in to kill Abigail Folger, and they just killed everybody else.
No, Manson said he wanted everybody in the house dead.
So it was him.
He even said... But there's also the theory and the conspiracy, because this was the late 60s, and this was like the rise of Hollywood dabbling in Satanism and cultism. This was like one of the rebirths of New Age occultism, and Satanism was on the forefront of it. Anton Szandor LaVey, who created the Church of Satan in Hollywood, was also like one of the most prolific persons to bring Satanism as a organized religion. Was holding rituals with all these Hollywood elites back in those days.
So this was a sacrifice?
And she was in that stuff.
Oh.
Because there's like pictures, I guess, of like some of the little parties they had where they were all dressed in black robes, and it was like, just fucking sex parties and all that bullshit.
Right.
So maybe there's a conspiracy of that. Maybe, yes, she was maybe a sacrifice or something like that. That's
and the baby, because
conspiracy.
that's a double sacrifice.
Right. So, I don't know. I don't think it's really that mysterious of a death, but it was pretty brutal. And, I would probably go along the lines that maybe that's exactly what it was. Manson just didn't like Terry Melcher because Manson's music sucked. Mm-hmm. And this guy was like, no, dude, you suck. And he was like, well, I'm going to show him. And, plus they were all on drugs. They probably didn't even, he was just like, go in there and kill the motherfuckers that are in there. The pigs,
Got you.
I don't know. But Manson did say that he listened to the White Album, and that's what told him to do it. The Beatles' White Album, Helter Skelter.
Weird.
That's what he wanted to bring, the race war. Helter Skelter is what he wanted to call it. Brittany Murphy. This one's sad.
Oh, she breaks my heart. I love her.
Though Brittany Murphy's death was ruled accidental, there's still a heavy layer of mystery that envelops the case. In 2009, Murphy collapsed in her bathroom and died while being transported to the hospital after going into cardiac arrest. Her death was attributed mostly to severe anemia and pneumonia. The strangest aspect of the story is that Murphy's husband Simon Monjack died in the same home just 5 months after her death. According to an independent lab report, there were heavy metals such as antimony and barium in her system, which may have indicated foul play through her mother. Though her mother, I thought it said through her mother. Though her mother, Sharon, claimed that this was a lie. Another common theory was that their deaths occurred because of toxic black mold in their Beverly Hills home. Though this rumor was dismissed by Los Angeles Assistant Chief Coroner Ed Winter, a mold inspection of the home was never requested by the health department.
She was she was like a very, very severe diabetic, too. She was so emaciated.
Yeah.
So she probably couldn't fight off anything, even if she did have...
Yeah, she was probably already immunocompromised. A lot of the stuff she had.
Yep.
Maybe it could have been black mold.
It could have been any kind of thing like that with your
because it's kind of weird that her husband dies 5 months after she does.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, I mean, maybe whoever bought the house came in and said, yeah, you need to clear out the black mold first.
Yeah.
Because you can have an...
And maybe that, because the realtors probably wanted to hide that fact so they could sell that house.
They just cleaned
it up. They could make a mint by going, this was Brittany Murphy's house.
But why is there barium in her system?
Well, that was a lie, is what the mother said. That she claimed it was a lie. That was an independent lab report. So, I'm not sure.
It's an
what is
independent lab
antimony
report.
anyway?
I don't know. Well, I mean, if it was an independent lab, that means there's nothing, you can't control them and you can't change the labs. So
yeah, I mean, maybe the mom was just trying to cover her up.
Maybe
whatever.
the mom did it. Antimony, what is it?
It's a silvery white metal that is found in the Earth's crust. Antimony mores are mined and then mixed with other metals to form antimony alloys, are combined with oxygen to form antimony oxide. Little antimony is currently mined in the United States, brought into the country from other countries for processing.
So it affects your heart and your respiratory. So that she could have the antimony, since they said
maybe
that, and it said pneumonia.
It's added to textiles and plastics to prevent them from catching on fire. Maybe there was antimony like in the house, not mold, but antimony in the house,
right,
when it was built for a fire retardant,
right?
Instead of because now they use like fire retardant foam inside the walls,
right?
Maybe she had like special walls coming from Europe or whatever.
Right. Well, both of the organs that it affects is exactly what she died from. Cardiovascular and respiratory.
Yeah.
So why would her mom be pissed off that they found the truth?
Right.
It's antimony and it's barium.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense right there.
Yeah. It sounds like that.
Because the husband died from a fucking heart attack.
The independent lab was correct.
Yeah.
And then the mom is a fucking joke.
Mom's trying to cover it up because she probably thought antimony meant some kind of drug.
Right.
Because, whatever.
Yep.
I don't know. I think we just solved that case, Don.
We did. Thank you.
God,
high five.
Good. Bam. Nice. Elizabeth Short, a.k.a. the Black Dahlia. I remember reading about this. The brutal murder of 22-year-old Elizabeth Short is so horrific and mysterious that the story still captivates people today. On January 15th, 1947, the dark-haired aspiring actress was found dead in an empty field in Los Angeles. Her body had been cut in half and drained of blood.
Jesus.
Her intestines were removed and there were gashes cut into the corners of her mouth. The story became a media sensation as the police desperately searched for her killer. And while several people confessed to the crime, they were released due to lack of evidence. The story of the Black Dahlia continues to fascinate people to this day and has inspired several movies, books, television specials, and the name of a death metal band. It has been 70 years since the murder, yet no one was ever charged for the crime.
Why can't they reopen it and try to figure it out?
Probably because they don't want to.
They disemboweled her, and they cut the corners of her mouth, and they chopped her in half.
They cut her in half and drained her blood. That's fucking creepy, dude. That's just creepy. That's not me breathing heavy, ladies. That's Mara.
Your nails are sharp.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. 15 mysterious and creepy deaths. Ranker's got a couple on here. Well, I'm going to skim through because we've got only a few minutes left here already. This show's almost over already, Dawn.
Wow, dude.
Good Lord.
10 minutos.
That's fucking crazy. Weird celebrity deaths you've never heard of on Ranker.com. Interesting. Tennessee Williams. You know who that is, right?
No.
He's considered one of the most greatest American playwrights in history. I believe he's the one that wrote Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Oh, cool.
Yet he often struggled with depression. Found lifeless in a New York hotel suite, many suspected the cause to be drug and alcohol related, and while both played a role, the main contributor to his passing was asphyxiation. According to medical professionals consulted at the time, Williams perished from choking on a bottle cap that was lodged in his throat. The cap was from a bottle for eye or nose drops that he often used. However, some have since hypothesized that this somewhat bizarre explanation was used to cover up an overdose.
I mean, that could happen because you twist off the top. A lot of people put shit in their mouth because they're going to put it right back on.
Yep.
My husband puts screws in his mouth when he takes them out. He just puts them in there.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's plausible.
Yeah. Sonny Bono. Sonny of the
Yep.
Sonny and Cher
Sonny
show.
and Cher, yeah.
He died skiing in Tahoe. He ran into a tree
Yeah.
and suffered brain injuries.
Why is that weird?
Says the most bizarre aspects of Bono's passing were the eerie similarities to Michael Kennedy's, son of Robert F. Kennedy's demise, which occurred less than a week prior. Kennedy also perished in a skiing accident. How is that? Why are they trying to correlate
I don't
two
know.
different
it doesn't
things?
seem like it's like.
I would
this-
understand if it was Michael Kennedy was on the same trail a week before and he ran into the same tree.
I need to get that tree out of there.
That's coincidental.
Damn tree pops up.
Yeah.
Killing
Maybe
people.
you might want to close that trail.
Yeah.
Because it's dangerous.
Who's that damn tree?
Right. That fucking tree.
Fucking tree's done killed 2 people.
Fucking done killed. Sunday. Go tree killed 2 goddamn people.
I don't find that like weird.
I don't find it weird
He's
either.
skiing and
Skiing is a very dangerous sport.
yeah, it is.
So, yeah, there's lots of people who run into trees
Yeah,
and die from skiing.
fallen. Well, that was a weird noise.
That was Mara wanting to get into the latrine again. She
She's
loves toilet water.
channeling the Palladians.
Yeah. Yeah. Woo!
Woo, Palladian.
John Eric Hexum, Russian roulette gone wrong. Who the fuck is John Eric Hexum, you ask?
I
He
do ask
was
that.
on the CBS television show Cover Up. Muscle stud John Eric Hexum became restless throughout takes. Hexum began fiddling with a prop gun and then spun a blank cartridge, held a barrel to his head in a mock game of Russian roulette, and pulled the trigger. The wadding from the empty barrel shot out of the trigger and impacted Hexum's temple. He was rushed to the hospital where he underwent 5 hours of surgery. 6 days later, he was pronounced brain dead. Hexum donated many of his organs before being cremated. That's not mysterious. He's a fucking moron. Period.
Too many roids.
End of story. Don't fucking
Don't
point
pick
a
up
gun.
a gun. Always think the gun
think-
is
exactly.
loaded.
That's
Always.
common fucking gun safety
Always
101.
think the gun's loaded.
Even if it's a toy gun, you still treat it like it's loaded.
Yep.
Even though it's not anything like real. It just gets that in your brain and muscle memory. Don't fuck with guns like that. Natasha Richardson refused medical help after a skiing accident. Now, Natasha Richardson was in The Parent Trap reboot and The Handmaid's Tale movie. She was a prominent English actress and charmer. While taking a skiing class on vacation in Canada, Richardson fell and sustained injuries. In a state of lucid confusion, she reportedly refused medical help, stating that she felt fine and returned to her hotel room. She fucking hit her head and she probably
She
bled
did.
out.
That's what it says on the next paragraph.
Again, another skiing accident.
Yep.
Oh, wait. But Robert Kennedy's son was in a skiing accident and Sonny Bono.
All
That
of them.
fucking tree went to
Conspiracy.
Canada.
Yep.
She later complained of a headache and was rushed to a hospital where she was later pronounced brain dead due to an epidural hematoma. Epidural?
Epidural. Who wrote
That's
this?
to be a. Who's the grammar Nazi now, Don?
This is Ranker, though. This
That's
is a totally different.
subdural hematoma.
Epidural.
Epidural. No, that's no. You can't die from an epidural hematoma.
Epidural.
That means it's like
It's
above the brain.
Yeah.
Oh my god, fucking people know.
Like you get an epidural because you don't want to go into your spinal cord.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know who Natasha Richardson was married to?
No.
Liam Neeson.
Ooh.
That's Liam Neeson's wife.
Oh.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
Natalie Wood, we already did. David Carradine, we already did. Jane Mansfield, we already did. Linda Darnell. After receiving critical praise for her performances in Unfaithful Years and A Letter to Three Wives, Linda Darnell secured herself among Hollywood's elite. In 1965, she perished unexpectedly in a house fire while staying at a former secretary's home. After falling asleep while watching television with a lit cigarette, she awoke to the smell of smoke and burning living room. While a friend and friend's daughter managed to escape the blaze, Darnell sustained burns over 80% of her body and died 2 days later. How is that mysterious?
She set it on fire. She was smoking.
Yeah. How is that mysterious?
I don't know. Some of these, neither is Sonny Bono.
I'm a little disappointed with Ranker right now.
Yeah, and this is not
This is not acceptable.
weird celebrity. No, it's not.
Ramon Navarro, beaten and left to die by potential lovers.
Ooh.
Ramon Navarro was a successful film actor during the 1920s and early 30s. Dubbed the Latin Lover, he became a Hollywood sex symbol. In 1968, 69-year-old Navarro welcomed Paul and Tom Ferguson to his home in Los Angeles for intimate relations.
Ooh.
While Navarro was entertaining the men at his home, the two of them beat him brutally and left him to die from choking on his own blood. The motive was widely theorized and disputed during the investigation of the case. Ultimately, Paul took most of the blame for the deed, blaming his actions on his homophobia. So,
Telemundo.
these guys plotted to go kill this guy because he was gay.
Man. What is it, before or after they all had anal sex?
Probably after.
Probably after.
Because usually it's the...
'Cause then you feel
it's
guilty,
The guilt
and
and,
then
the
you
rage
murder
that you just
him
had
because you
homosexual
just
sex. and
enjoyed
your,
it.
Your latent homosexuality.
I loved it, and I'm going to kill you for that now.
Right,
So no
now
one
you have
will
to
ever
die.
know.
So
Now
no
you
one will
have to
ever know
die.
I enjoyed your big fat cock in my stink wink. Graham Parsons died of an overdose, body stolen by his friends. What?
What?
Considered an influential country and rock musician, Graham Parsons played solo as well as with acts such as the Byrds, the International Submarine Band, and the Flying Burrito Brothers.
Flying Burrito Brothers.
yeah.
That sounds delicious.
During a trip to Joshua Tree National Park in California in 1973, Parsons' friends found him unresponsive. While coroners declared that he perished of heart failure due to natural causes, many sources suggest that he died as a result of complications from a drug overdose. 1973, I'd probably lean more towards that. Parsons' body was ultimately scheduled to be delivered to Louisiana for a family burial. However, despite the family's wishes, Parsons' friends attempted to follow Graham's personal wish for his ashes to be scattered in Joshua Tree National Park. They somehow managed to steal his body from the airport and transported it back to Joshua Tree, where they attempted to cremate his body by lighting it up with gasoline in the coffin.
Dude.
The result was a mess, and the remnants of Parsons' remains were eventually buried in Louisiana.
Wow. No, you have to get that so hot.
Yeah, that shit's got to get
You can't just
super
put it.
hot.
Yeah, there's like a way to do it.
I'm going to beat that dog senseless one of these days.
Beat her face with kisses.
That's how I beat her. Didn't
know.
you? Yeah, I just
No,
kissed
I've
her
seen
face
it.
off, and she's like, "Stop, Dad!
That's
I
just
promise I'll
horrible.
be good."
This is horrible.
Yeah. Bob Crane, beaten to death with an unidentified weapon. Now, Bob Crane was Colonel Hogan in Hogan's Heroes.
Yep.
One of my favorite shows as a kid. Please stop, Mara. Bob Crane was slain while living in his Scottsdale, Arizona apartment in 1978. Crane was beaten with a weapon that was never identified. Unprepared to handle a homicide case, Scottsdale Police Department struggled to collect enough evidence to indict their main suspect, Crane's friend, John Henry Carpenter. Many believe that the camera tripod found at the scene of the crime could have been the weapon. Police reopened Crane's case years later and officially indicted Carpenter. However, lack of substantial evidence led to his acquittal. Crane's murder was never officially solved.
Wow. See, guys, if you die and you're famous, it
That's-
doesn't mean they're going to solve your murder.
That's lazy police work.
Yeah. A lot of
Because
these, that's the main vein in
Yeah.
here is that they just, okay, you find 2 shells under a
you're-
body and you're just like, okay, he committed suicide.
If you're unprepared to handle the case, then you call someone who is prepared to handle
no,
the
that
case.
means if you call somebody to help, that means you're not prepared.
That's fine.
No,
it's
it's
okay.
not.
It's okay to call a professional to help you
Just
solve
let it
the
go.
case.
No, it's done.
These guys are like,
It's solved.
we'll just let this one simmer.
Well, I got this donut that I just heated up.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't
My
want
coffee's getting cold.
I don't want my donut to go stale, and I'm just really not ready for this.
You know, we
So-
got that game to watch tonight at the
Right.
at the bar.
Unbelievable, man.
If I do that, then I don't have time for that.
I really apologize to people that are listening to this show and the scratching that you hear. That sounds like we've buried someone alive. But that would be Mara. Mara likes to scratch at doors until I open them.
I'm going to get us a water gun so I can shoot her with the water.
A super soaker.
Yes.
Andy Kaufman, kidney failure or death hoax? You decide. News at 11. Andy Kaufman, a prominent American comedian and prankster, became gravely ill after being diagnosed with a rare form of lung cancer. Kaufman refused modern medicine and instead relied on experimental and natural treatments such as special diets and psychic surgery. In 1984, Kaufman perished from kidney failure as a result of his cancer. However, many conspiracy theorists believed that Kaufman faked his death. The hoax theory started after many close friends of Kaufman claimed that he was always intended to fake his own death. He was a strange character.
Yeah.
So you never knew whether he was serious or not on a lot of things.
Right.
And he was like the ultimate method actor, if you think about it. Like, some of his alter egos that he had were just unbelievable. Like, people couldn't tell if, like, Kaufman got lost in that character forever or if he was just acting. You know what I mean? He was a very strange person.
SNL.
Yeah. Jeff Buckley, Mysterious Harbor Drowning.
Oh, I love him.
Best known for his heartfelt cover of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, Jeff Buckley secured a cult musical following from a supportive fan base. Although Buckley only lived to release one album, Grace, he garnered critical appreciation. While in Memphis, recording new material, he was joined by his fellow bandmates. During a break, Buckley walked into the Wolf River harbor of the Mississippi River and began swimming. Soon, Buckley had disappeared. A thorough rescue operation failed to find Buckley, and he remained missing. It wasn't until a few days later when two people found his body near a boat that he was announced dead. Wouldn't that be pronounced dead?
I don't know, I'm getting attacked.
Yeah, Jeff Buckley. He was a good guitar player.
And a beautiful singer.
I'm being beaten right now. My face is getting kissed off. I love you, Mara. Say hi to the people. And that's the show.
Nice.
Mara's just licking shit. We hope you guys had a fun time.
We love you. Thanks for listening.
We will be back next week with another show. In the meantime, send us an email at thedeadtimeradio@gmail.com or go to our website. Check out our cool shit there at thedeadtimeradioshow.com. We will see you next time.
Love you. Bye.